In this YouTube video, we are going to discuss a C++ project titled as Teacher Portal Student Grade Management System. This was developed for our computer programming lab at Air University, Islamabad. I am Abdullah Iqbal, and this project was a collaboration with Hamza Tariq, Muhammad Tayyab, and Muhammad Salar. The idea behind this portal is simple: to help teacher manage student data, calculate marks, assign grade, and store all of it without needing a massive system, all using just C++ and a terminal. Before we begin, I want you to think about how much time teachers spend manually calculating grades with so many subjects and students. It becomes a tedious task. That's why we have created our own grading system. So, what is the purpose of project and its overview? This project simulate a real-world academic workflow where teachers input student data, apply custom grading weightage, and calculate result. With our system, our teacher can load student data from a CSV file, enter how much weight to give quizzes, assignment, midterm, final, and project, automatically calculate each student total score, and then assign grade using a relative scale, and also save that data or search for a specific student. Now, while that may sound basic, it covers a huge range of essential features for educators. We are focusing on instability, accuracy, and efficiency, and this was all done using standard C++ features like structs, vector, loops, conditional, file streams, and function. So the next question that comes in our mind is how this system flow. So let's imagine you are a teacher using this tool. You open the terminal and run the program. The system asks for a CSV file that has student records. You enter weights, maybe quizzes are 10%, assignment are 20%, midterm is 30, etc. You can add whatever percentage you like. But the system check if these add up to 100. If the total is not equal to 100%, the system where the code will crash and you will not be able to perform any type of task. So then for every student, it calculates quiz average, assignment average, scale the midterm, final, and project scores, sum up a final score, assign a grade. Then you see a menu. In that menu, you can view results such as student, export result, or exit. This whole cycle is seamless and done within a second, and it will not end if you don't select the exit option. When you select the exit option, this code will end. Then this code will end. So now there is a sample that is explained below. So here's a sample row from our input CSV file. Like in this, the name is written and its roll number, like numbers like Ali MCT 01 9 8 10 9 85 78 and 35. There is a question that comes in our mind: what are these numbers that are written randomly. So I will break this down. So the Ali is the name of the student. Then MCT01 is the roll number of Ali. Next comes the quiz score. That is 9, 8, 10, 9. The 85 is a midterm and 78 is the final score, while the 35 is the project score out of 40. In our program, we read this using the readCSV function and store it in the student struct. We will discuss the functions that are used in our code further in the video. This struct includes vectors for quizzes and assignments and float values for midterm, final and project. Using a struct allow us to manage each student as an object with all their attributes. So now let's break down each function in detail. So the first function that we have used in this project is readCSV. The readCSV function is the backbone of our data ingestion system. It begins by opening the input CSV file using an input file stream. It reads the first line to understand how many data columns are present for quizzes and assignments. This is done by splitting the header row at each comma and counting entries for each subsequent line. The function traces the common separated value and assign the value into a temporary student struct. The name and roll number are stored as strings. Quiz and assignment score are traced into vectors, and numerical values like midterm, final, and project scores are converted from strings to floating point numbers. Each student object is then appended appended to a vector which contains all student data for further use in this program. So let's discuss the other function that is used in this project, that is input weightage. That is input weights. This function is used to interactively get weight percentages for each evaluation component. For the teacher, it prompts the user to input weights for quizzes, assignments, midterm, final, and project. It keeps looping until the sum of all these weights adds up exactly to 100. This prevents user error and ensures that when we perform grade calculations later, the overall weighting system remains logically and mathematically sound. So the next function that is used is the calculate total. This function takes an individual student's score and compute their final total based on the weight distribution. First, it calculates the average of the quiz scores and scale it to a 100-point scale. Then it does the same for assignment. The midterm and final exam scores are already out of 100, so they are multiplied directly by the weight. For the project, which is out of 40, the function first scale it up to 100, then applies the weight. Once all weighted components are calculated, they are summed together to give the student a final total score, which is stored back in their records. Next function is the calculate class average function. This function loops through the vector of all students and adds up their total marks. Once the sum is complete, it divides the sum by the number of students in the vector. To begin the class average, this average is crucial because our grading system uses it to assign relative grades. So the next is the getGrade function. This function use a relative This function uses a relative grading system based on the class average. If a student scores more than 10 points above the average, they get an A. If the score is within 10 points above or below the average, they get a B. If it is up to 20 points below the average, they receive a C. Any score more than 20 points below the average result is an F. This makes the grading dynamic and adjusts to the difficulty of the exam. Next one is the display result function. This function is presents the proceeded data to the user. It loops against the list of students and prints their name, roll number, total marks, and final grade in a structured format. This is the very useful for teacher to quickly review the performance of the entire class. Next, we have the saved result to file function. This function writes to the final result to a new CSV file. It opens an output file stream write headers such as name, roll number, total, and grade, and then iterates through the student list, writing each student's data into the file. It ensures that the result of the student list it ensures that the result can be backed up, printed, or imported into other systems like Excel. The last function that we have used in this project is the search student. This is a simple search utility that allows the teacher to find information for a specific student. By entering their roll number, it loops through the student list, and if a match is found, it displays the student's name, total score, and grade. If no match is found, the system informs the user accordingly. Now we will do a deeper walkthrough, or we can say an execution of the code. So the first we will input the name of the CSV file in which we have stored the student's data. In my case, I have stored it in students.csv. Then the code will ask me to enter the weightages of the different component of the semester like quizzes, assignment, midterm, and project. Then the program will read and process everything and then give me the output. And also save to file and allow search functionality too. Some common errors that we face during this project and their debugging tips that we have applied to our project so it works properly. So first, we handled error like missing values in CSV file, non-numeric scores, and incorrect weightage total. We add checks using conditional statement and input validation. For example, we check if the number of tokens in a row is less than expected and skip the row. If the condition is not fulfilled, our code will stop at that specific point so we can know what is the problem in our code. So, after discussing the whole project, let's talk about the learning and the outcomes of this project. So, we learned how to structure code cleanly, also the real world data handling, defensive programming with validation, function reusability, and logic, and how to simulate grading policies. Because if we do not know how to simulate the grading policy, we couldn't make this project because it is totally based on the grading policy. The concept go beyond the class exercise, and I will suggest you guys to do some other project other than the class ones, because if you only focus on the project that are uh, done in the class, you will not learn something new. As we have done this project, we have learned a lot of new things that were not in our course, but with the help of our teachers we learned that things and executed in the form of this code. So our future plan accumulated to this are we are going to add an GUI using Qt, add a login system for every teacher and also for students to check their grades. We also wanted to make an auto generated PDF system so that the PDF of the result can be generated. Also, we are working on a feature which emails the result to parents and add a history view for student trends, that how the student is performing previously. Is his graph is going up in studies or going down? So now I'm going to give an advice to the students that are here to learn. If you are a student, I will suggest you start with a small. Don't worry about perfections. Keep improving it step by step. Building project like this gives you real confidence in problem solving with coding. Because if you I have tell you in previously, if you stick to the class, you will not going to learn anything new. It is the same boring course that you are following, that is learned by our parents and our great grandparents. If you wanted to learn something new, you have to study something new, have to do some new things. If you do something new on your own, you will learn a lot. You can take help from your teachers, YouTube, Chat GPT, and any other AI that can help you guys in coding, because this is the modern era. You guys have a lot of things, you guys have a lot of platforms from where you guys can learn. And still, if you guys don't learn from these platforms, so what can I say? I will definitely advise you to start learning, and this will really help you in the future. And also, you can build a strong portfolio, because you can add it to your LinkedIn profile that I have made this project. And this will make you different from a lot of people of your batch. You can be in the top 10%. So that's my advice to the students that are watching this video. So thank you for watching our YouTube video on the teacher portal using C++, made by my team Mecatopia, Hamza, Tayyab, Salar. If you like this video, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe for more tech and coding demos. Until next time, keep learning and goodbye. Last thing, if you guys wanted to see the code and the files that are created by the help of this code, I have made a link of Google Drive. I will upload that on my GitHub, and also I will give the Google Drive link in my in the comment section or in the bio. You can check that, and you can do something new that you wanted to do with the code, or you can also learn from that code and see the functionality, and you can also run that code and learn something new. Thank you.